It's going to be a little bit different. Um, it's a webinar. I'm sure we're all expecting to see a slide presentation or something. Unfortunately, it's going to take a different tone. I think we're going to turn it more to a conversation. We're going to have conversations, and I would appreciate everybody actually contribute. So I'll be needing the moderator to actually help me do a lot of justice and helping in moderating people's contributions. So it's going to be a discussion. And again, I always believe that people learn better when they participate and not just listening. Again, this is webinar, or this is a virtual call or a virtual meeting where at some point somebody might be mixing some EBA somewhere and another person might actually be in the gym. But when we are all contributing, it gets our attention and we tend to put in more. So before we continue, the topic is just pretty straightforward. Good products, great products, um, beyond beautiful interfaces, and great ideas. I'm going to ask a question first before we start. Does this topic actually resonate with anyone here? If it resonates with you, you can use your emoji to respond. Can we resonate with this topic? Good product, great product. Or let me put it this way. If you can resonate with it, if you understand what this topic is about, you can use your thumbs up. If you are wondering what this discussion is going to look like, you can use the thumbs down emoji on your screen, right? Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, that's nice. Nice. So we're all familiar with this. I want somebody to just help me here to discuss a little bit. What do we understand, or what differentiates? What do we think makes the difference between a good product and a great product? We are not talking about bad products now. We're just talking about good products and great products. Can somebody just help me unmute and say something?
Yeah,
Okay, I think
Latifa, you can go.
that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I want to give it a shot. I think the difference between a good product and a great product is, there's a product that it has good interface, everything is looking aesthetic, but the functionalities are not working that great. And then there are other products that they look good, they are easy to use, and then their functionality is working as intended. So it's meeting the needs of the users and it's easy for the user to walk around. That's what I think.
Okay. Great. That's a very good one. Does anybody else want to contribute to this? Don't worry, the question and answer session is going to be very structured. So it's not going to be just random talks. So does anyone else want to talk about this? Anybody else?
I think
Okay.
even as the mod, I can give it a bite, right?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah, so in my experience, what differentiates a good product from a good product from a great product, like Tifa said, I have seen a good product to be one that has a beautiful user experience and also, of course, user interface and just looks aesthetically pleasing. And then what separates that from a great product is that a good product actually takes into consideration the needs of the customers and also is developed in such a way that it solves the customer pain points and also it's easy to use, which makes it accessible and just easy to use, I guess. Yeah, that's it for a great product. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's nice. So basically, one thing actually differentiates good products. One key thing actually differentiates a good product from a great product, and that key thing is user experience, right? Um, good products are built to meet, yeah, good products most some of the times actually solve users' problems as well, right? But they actually drop off a little bit when it comes to user experience. They are not 100 of 100 products. right? Or they're not a 10 of 10 product, as we might want to consider it. Some of them are like a 7.5 of 10 of a product. Some of them are some of them are a 9 of 10 of a product, right? But great products are actually those products that are designed or that are built around the user's needs and the user's experience. And most of the times, how do I say this now? Most of the times, we often confuse beautiful interfaces with great experience. And I'm going to take a very quick example. I had a session some couple of weeks ago, and people mentioned a particular fintech product. I don't want to mention the product because I'm not marketing for them. They mentioned a particular product, and they were like, "I don't see what I need to change on this product." As in, virtually everybody on that call were like, they don't know what they need to even change on those products. They feel the product is just so perfect and so much fitted for their needs. And outside of what these people on this particular call had said, had met a lot of other people that try to replicate what these particular people do with the product. In fact, some people actually not just replicate what they've done with the product, they literally want to replicate that same product and sell in the market. But interesting enough, I know people that have put millions of dollars behind this product, they've raised millions of dollars in building similar products like these people did, or like these people have done. But guess what? They were not able to actually achieve it. Why? Because copying what other people have done without building to meet the exact need of others, right, is a very, very, very great as a has a totally different approach. You understand? Yeah. Has a totally different approach, right? And you get a very different what's it called? A very different result as well when you try to build products around what what other people have done, and not around what your customers are what your users or what your customers actually need, or solving their real pain point. So great products in essence great products are those products that um, great products are those products that are built around your customers' needs. Or products, when before you build, you listen to your customers' needs. You don't build based on your assumptions. You build based on the actual need of those people. I hope I'm making some sense here. Am I making some sense? Are we following me? Are we hearing what I'm saying? Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. So main thing, good products are built just to solve a problem, right? Good products are built around the users, right? And before I continue, I would like somebody to just tell me quickly. I would like somebody to just tell me very quickly. Give me an example of one product we've actually used, and we see it as as in, we can relate with it as not just a good product, but a very great and awesome product. I have a couple of them myself, and I'll also share mine. Can you hear me?
All
Does
right, please,
anybody
if
want to give
anyone,
it a shot?
just raise up your hand and then, of course, unmute. All right, Isaac, there's some responses in the chat, so I will just read it out for you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, great. Yeah.
Oyedika Mwachuku said Figma, WhatsApp. Latifa said Duolingo.
Okay. Figma,
Yeah.
WhatsApp, Duolingo. Okay, cool. So the people that have mentioned this, I'd like them to unmute their mic and tell me what exactly. So don't use the generic don't use the generic definition I've mentioned, where I said user experience or whatever. Tell me what exactly these people have gotten right that makes you want to look forward to using their products. In fact, there are times you always look forward to updates on those products. Like what is the next thing these people have to offer, right? So can you unmute your mic and just share, please?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I joined a bit late, so I might not have gotten the initial definitions. For Figma, I think what gets to me is the time to value and ease of use. I did it, I used to do designs initially, and the primary tools were either Photoshop or Illustrator. First and foremost, you have to get a cracked version to even make use of it. Because I couldn't, I still can't afford the paid versions of those softwares. You would have to download, install, access Adobe Cloud, DCC, blah, 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 before you get to use it. But for Figma, all you need to do is just sign up, like SSO, your Google account, and you're in, right? Accessibilities of views, the things that you need to do, or the um, getting to do designs is very easy, right? Learning curve on Figma is quite low, and then it also allows you natively to collaborate with a lot of people instantly. For WhatsApp, similar flows. Time to value is quite fast. Once you put your number, they do like verification, you're in, and you can start sending messages easily and all that. I think the most important thing for WhatsApp to me was the ability to communicate with so many people at once without needing to, at that point in time, go via Facebook. So is very close people. They're not out there, and then you don't need to like make a phone call or go via SMS. Just made it easy to communicate with people that are close to you.
Great, great. Thank you for that. Um, nice. So one key thing I've been able to take out of what you said is time to value. You mentioned time to value, like from the first time I have interaction with a product till the time I get my very first value, it seems the time is very short with Figma. Am I correct? Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. That's it. Thank you so much. Latifat, I think Latifat also mentioned a product, Duolingo, right?
Yes,
That's what makes you
yeah,
feel
let's
Duolingo is
you can
beyond just
unmute,
a
and then
good.
you have new.
Hello, Latifat.
I think she's in a place that she can't speak, but then there are other products in the chat. Anthony Okole said Opay and Sportybet. Adebowale said his own is Spotify. So yeah, Spotify, Opay, and Sportybet. Hello, Isaac. Can you hear me?
Who mentioned? I can hear you. Can you
Yes,
hear me
a
too?
bit of a lag. Yes, I can hear you clearly now.
Okay, yeah. I said you mentioned Sportybet, um, Sportybet, Spotify, and one other product.
Yes, and Opay. Anthony said Opay and Spotify. Adebowale said
Okay,
Spotify.
so can we quickly jump on it? Why do you think these products are just beyond your regular products? Why do you think these products are great products to use beyond your regular products? We're driving this at something. So,
Hi everyone, good evening.
hi, good evening.
Good evening.
So yeah, so for me, Spotify, why I said that is because um For me, I'm a kind of a person that I love music and I love listening to music on the go and while I'm at work. But they did old times. We all know that this what's it called? The app that we start downloading our musics and downloading from internet just to listen to, or Spotify. It has made it life easier with cheaper rate. They paid the subscriptions are very easy and affordable. They are pocket friendly. I will use that word. They have been pocket friendly to use and to subscribe for and get music on the go without advertisement or any distractions or anything. And it's one of that a thing that it's a good one for me. Yeah.
Okay, so if I get it right, for you, price point is a very important thing you consider when it comes to good product use, right? And
Yes.
accessibility.
Yes. 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 It's affordable. It's pocket friendly and accessibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry for the background noise. Okay. So it's affordable and it grants you access to whatever it is you want, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Even with the podcast. Yeah.
Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah. Which one again? Someone mentioned sporty bets. Who's that?
Yeah, Anthony, please unmute.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, for Sportybet, it's because I think one of the things they did rightly for those of us that actually play sports betting is that instant withdrawal to your bank account. So for other bookies, you might probably have to wait like an hour. Some might even take 12 hours or 24 hours. But Sportybet, once you click on withdraw, it gets to your bank account immediately. They might not have the best markets, but you're able to understand where to pick your odds from once you just log into the app immediately. You see your balance, you're able to even cash out while the game is on. And that's one of the things that a lot of the other bookies still struggle to do. Then for OP, basically, OP has made me not enter a banking hall in the last 8 months or even 12 months. I've been able to do a lot of things, a lot of my banking activities without having to go into a banking hall. My card is being delivered to my office or home address. If I have issues, I'm able to call customer care and attend to me. Another very very important thing is the way we're able to track our money transfer. So you're able to say, okay, you know what, this transaction is processing. It has been successfully processed, or it's pending, or it wasn't successful. The other banks, the other commercial banks didn't give us that ability to actually track payment to say, okay, you know what, this payment is going, it didn't go, it failed, it has been reversed. And Opay also has what they call automatic reversal. You understand? So if you go through, the payment is going to be reversed almost immediately. But for commercial banks, they actually want to watch you and see if you come and query them or complain about the failed debit. So that's basically it for OP and Spotybet.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So what I can get from you also is you you get results faster, like also time to value. That's the important thing to you also, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Value, yes, yes.
So two people have already talked about time to value. One person has talked about the value for money. I think that's what I'll call it, value for money, right? Is there another person before we jump on the next line? Hello?
I have my hand up, so I can just go.
Yes,
So
please.
I would say Rise Vest. Um, the Rise Vest is an app that helps you with saving in foreign currencies and also investing in US denominated currencies, stocks, real estate, and all of that. And I love it because but one thing I love is the customer experience. So they do this low hanging fruit marketing, which, as a communications person myself, it really gets to me. Which is, if you've been away from the app for a long time, like they just tell you, "Hey, we've missed you," and all of that, like, and then just send you messages. And then when you do log back in after a long time, like there's just a responsiveness that, oh, you've been away for a long time and all of that. And second thing is, it's easy to use. is very much intuitive. As a newbie, like you can actually use the app from day one because like they just give you those prompts and everything. And another thing that I like is the transparency. So you know, like if you want to withdraw from dollar to naira or naira to dollar, you see the rates and everything. And if it does change, they let you know per time. And one thing that is really surprising to me about them is the fact that they give wallet balances. So, like you save money and then they'll give you wallet balances. And then, if they don't give you complete wallet balances, when you go check your transaction history, you would see maybe zero point 0.3 naira or 0. This for miss, they call it missing wallet balance. So, if they give you, like, let's say, like 4 naira or 10 naira, whatever, and they miss something, they will actually come back and give you the missing wallet balance, and it's just crazy for me. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So what I can hear from you more is transparency, right? Transparency, which is also, I think, the person that talked about sporty bet also mentioned something about that, and also their intent, like they are very intentional about their customers, right? So I like all the points that we've actually put together. So from starting from time to value to value for money to transparency to transparency to what was it called again? There's one more thing. Transparency. You've talked about intentionality, like they are very intentional. They make you feel like you're the only customer they cater for or they care about, right? Because it's actually a very great work for you to build a product that literally tracks user, that literally not just general tracking, but track users' behavior as in personalize the experience for that particular user. So these are very great stuff. And um, I'm going to move forward from here. There are basic things that are actually good about all these products. One, all of them are built on very great ideas. Good products, bad, no, no, let me say bad products. Both good products and great products, right, are built on, both good products and great products are built on very great ideas. Those ideas are always great. Duolingo, I want to learn a new language. Very great idea. So I don't need to start looking for a coach. For example, if I want to learn Mandarin, for example, it might be difficult for me to stay in Nigeria and get a Mandarin teacher, right? If I get a Mandarin teacher, most likely that Mandarin teacher I will get might not even be able to speak English. I might not be able to speak my local language. But jumping on product like Duolingo solves that particular problem. Someone talks about sporty bets, right? I want to be able to make money from my passion. I think that's even one of the betting companies, something, right? And making money from your passion. I think so. I think I've seen an ad like that before, right? Um, Great idea. But what differentiates them? That little thing is actually those little intentionalities are the things that make them great. Um, um, so let me quickly jump up to the next phase. Outside of all these things that we've actually mentioned, I want to give us like a general overview, some little things we need to think about, right? Are we really following me on this call? Please, I want your reactions, please. If you're following, okay, great. Um, so one of the key things I would like to thank you so much, everyone, right? So one of the key things I would like us to talk about is some other little things that we usually don't pay attention to, right? And one of them is um, innovation. How do we innovate around our products, right? We've all talked about the role of user experience. User experience, time to value is user experience. Value for money is part of user experience. Like what experience, what's the aftertaste of using that product? That's what user experience is all about, right? Another thing I would really want to point out is functionality, reliability, and usability. Before I move to the essence of innovation, right? These products are very functional, and when I say they are functional, they do, as in the features that are shown, as in those function and those features are actually they are working, right? I don't need to tap 5 times to get an OTP when I need to, if I want to use the OTP feature. I don't need to click send OTP. Then I'll type again, I'll tap again, I'll tap again, I'll tap again. Then one of them, the OTP will now drop. Or after 10 minutes, all the five OTPs will now drop. Then I will be confused which one to use, right? So those functions, those features are there. Those features are literally designed, they're intentionally designed to serve specific purpose, right? Um, Reliability, those functions are very reliable. I ask for it and I get it. There's a popular saying about computer, they say garbage in, garbage out. That is the basic principle that should guide how we build our products, right? When you request, you get, right? And it does what it says it's going to do. Is it usable? Yes. I've used products before where you see a button, right? You want to click a button, and this is more like more of usability, right? You click that button, and lo and behold, the button is just there. It's not activated to function, and there's nothing there to actually tell me that that function is working. So then that button is not usable. I can't use it, or only part of the button is working, so it's not usable. So usability is one of those key things that we need to consider when we are building our product. Moving forward, we talk about so the next thing I want to talk about is quickly is innovation. And when it comes to innovation, your job as a product person is, and I'm saying this based on an assumption that majority of the people on this call are either newbie product managers or probably have not spent so many years building product. Maybe you just have spent a couple of years. You just started building products a couple of years back, right? Um, when it comes to is your job as a product manager is to innovate, right? And I keep saying this, and I'll say it over and over again. The duty of your customer, or the role, sorry, the job function or the job role of your customers or your users is to identify, oh no, is the problem. The problem you're trying to solve is a job roles. They're the ones that have that problem every day. They're the ones that go through that problem every day. You cannot understand a user's problem more than the user, right? However, your job is problem solving. Your customer cannot solve a problem better than you. And I'm going to explain this a little bit further. I think we have just about 20 more minutes. I'm going to quickly explain this a bit further. When we say that your customer's job function is the problem, is identifying, is knowing the problem, right? They have PhD in knowing the problem. But guess what? They are novice when it comes to providing solutions. And that's why I wonder a lot of times when product managers are trying to carry out or maybe user research, or maybe they're carrying out user research, or they're doing some discovery and stuff. And when they're asking their customers questions, they're asking them, so how do you think this should be solved? If your customer knows how to solve that problem, they don't need you in the first place, right? If you have a very terrible chest pain, right? And you know the solution to that problem, you will not need to see a doctor. You are the user in that case. You can explain how that pain feels like to your doctor more than your doctor would ever understand, right? Because that pain is part of you. The same thing with your user. When you're trying to build a product, when you're trying to solve a problem for your users understand that their pain points more than you can ever imagine. However, it's your doctor's duty to know the best way to treat that sickness. And I'm not talking of people that do self-medication. In fact, a lot of people die of self-medication because they're treating the wrong thing. They're trying to treat this the symptom and not the problem. So it's your doctors. So if you ask your users the answer to their own problem, the solution to their own problem, what they will keep giving you is the solution to the symptom and not the root cause of that problem, of the problem that they are faced with. Right? The same thing with you. If the same thing when you try to when you want to tell your doctor the solution to the chest pain we use as example the other time, you're only going to tell him the solution based on the symptom. If the chest pain feels like you have a lot of load on your chest, if you tell the doctor, please come and help me carry this load away, but literally there's no load on your chest, right? So it's the duty of the doctor to diagnose the problem you've come with and provide a solution to it. As a product person or as a product manager, it's your job to diagnose the problem of your users, the pain points of your users, and provide solution to it. And that's where innovation comes in. How you innovate around solving the problem is one thing. Now, let me give an example. I'm going to use a real life example again, just like I've used with a doctor. I'm still going to continue with the doctor example. It is doctor's role to help you ease that pain and help you remove or help you solve for the root cause of the chest pain you are having, right? For example, if the chest pain originates from, say, pneumonia, it is the doctor's duty to solve or to find a way to cure pneumonia and not just to remove the chest pain, because it could easily give you painkillers and you're not going to feel that pain again after some time. A good doctor will give you painkillers that solves that problem and puts you on perpetual use of painkillers to solve chest pain problem, right? However, a great doctor would find a way to solve the problem of, we've assumed now that the cause of the chest pain is pneumonia, is to look for a very good way to help you solve, to help you get cure, right, for that pneumonia without you going through some excess stress. Next time, if the doctor helps you and provides a cure, right, for pneumonia, and you are okay, in my end, I'm not even telling you that your problem is pneumonia, right? But he has solved that problem. Next time when you have other issues, you will most likely want to run to that same doctor for solution. The same thing. What really differentiates good products from great products, or what differentiates great products from good products, is also around how they solve the problem. Is your product solving the root cause, or is only dealing with the symptoms? Right? Those are very great things. So as a product manager, your job is you're not only solving the problem of the user because of what your user have said. Because of what your user have said, you're actually solving for those things that users are not talking about. I would say that personally, I believe that what my users say accounts for not more than either 25 or less than 25% of the real cost of the problem. So what do? I believe a lot in the use of the empathy map. I believe in understanding. I believe in understanding what is the problem, right? Okay, so what is my user telling me? That's one thing. I will start from what they are telling me. From there, I want to probe further to understand what are they doing, right? You tell me that this is the problem you have. What have you tried to do to solve that problem? Or what do you always do that makes that problem persist, right? How does this problem even come to be in the first place? So from listening to you, I go the next step of observing, right? From my observation, other things I begin to understand is how do you feel about this problem, right? How do you feel about this pain point, right? What are your thoughts? What do you think about this pain point? By understanding that, I'm able to come up with better solutions than just solving the symptoms. Does that make sense? So anybody, are we with me? If you can relate, or if I'm my explanations are good enough, please just give me a thumbs up. If it's not, you can use a thumbs down, please. I would take your questions. Okay, good. So that said, as a product person, your job, right, is to actually understand um, or to come up with the right innovations. And I've talked about how to identify genuine user needs, right? Listen to them, right? Also, it's also very important to know this. My user might have a pain point. Are they also ready to pay the price to solve that problem? Because that's very important. And that's where the market gap comes in, right? Am I ready to, I'm going to use RiceVest as example. Am I ready to part way with what's it called? Am I ready to part way with my money in the name of investment in foreign stock or in foreign business or in foreign or conducting foreign investments, waiting for few weeks, few months, or years, as the case may be, to get return on my investments? If I'm not ready to do that, if I'm not ready to take that risk, then maybe that product is not for me. So you need to be able to understand. And when I'm talking about paying the price, I'm not just talking about the money. I'm talking about emotional price. Are they ready to pay the emotional price? Are they ready to pay the money price? Are they ready to pay the price with time? Their time. Are they ready to invest their time? Are they ready to invest their emotions? Are they ready to invest their money? Are they ready to invest there's one more thing. Yeah, their resources, storage, right? Are they ready to invest their storage? Are they ready to invest their personal information, right? Those are very important and key things for them to know before they go ahead with this. Um, is there any question from anyone before I move on to the next one? Because I think we're running out of time. Hello, is there any question from anyone?
Hey guys, please, if you have any question, just you could drop it in the chat or you could just raise your hand and you'll be brought to stage.
Okay, so there seems to be no one right now. Let me quickly continue. So, in all these things we've said, I think there might be this argument to say, oh, it is the job. I've heard someone say this to me recently. Oh, it's not the job of the product manager to understand users' needs. It's the job of the product designer. I'm sorry, that's a very big lie. That is not true. That is not correct. That is not a good way to build products. You, as a product manager, your primary role and your primary duty is your customer. If you don't talk to a minimum of 5 customers in a week, right? I personally, it's not a rule, but if you don't talk to at least 5 of your customers or potential customers in 1 week, right? I don't think you are you are what's it called? I don't think you are passionate about your product enough, right? That is my opinion, and I stand to be corrected. Okay, so all I'm saying is you are expected to as a product manager, it is your job to bridge the gap between that good idea that you have or that your company that your organization have, that you have as a company, that you have as an individual, that you even have as a product manager, that you're nurturing and you want to see come to life, or any other person in your team have. It is your job to nurture, as in to actually bring or to bridge the gap between those great idea and that great product, right? Your idea has to be good. You verify it. It's your job to actually nurture it and bring it to life. And how do you do this? How do you do this? I want somebody in the team. I'm sorry, one person, one or two people here to just quickly say something. Um, can you just please tell me how you've been able to bridge before? Have you ever been able to bridge, like move from good idea to great product? It might just be a very small feature. It might just be a very small tweak on existing, like update on existing feature. It might be the introduction of a new feature. It might even be the build of an entire product. Has anybody here gone through?
Hello, Isaac. We can't hear you anymore. Okay, so I think before Isaac got disconnected, he was asking if anyone of us here on the call has had an experience with either making just a simple tweak or an update to a product that we think changed it from a good product to a great product. And for those who joined a bit late, so we have been talking about the key differentiator between a good product and a great product. And what we have learned so far is the fact that good products actually have, of course, good ideas and also have good user experience. But the fact that the key difference is the fact that great products actually have also good ideas, but they are built around their customer needs, and that is what makes customers feel like they are stakeholders in the product. And of course, because the product solves a pain point for them or is centered around their needs, that makes them loyal. That turns them to loyal customers. And also, we learned that users actually adore and not only appreciate functionalities like ease of use and also transparency. We use case studies like OPay. We use case studies like Spotify and also RiseVest. The ease of use, the intuitiveness of the product, and also the transparency of the product is what some of us here say we love about those particular products mentioned. And so, please, for some of us here who are practicing product managers, please don't be shy. If you've had an experience where you either listening to a customer problem, you took that feedback and then you iterated on the product, and you could see it change from, you could see it transition from a good product to a great product, or you could just see that change, have great feedback for customers. Please just raise your hand or just unmute and speak about how that happened. All right, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you have the floor. You can just unmute.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Isaac. So it has been a great session so far. I would, I want to, I'll be dropping a comment and a question as well. So the feature that I noticed that has made the product that I'm aware of has been, I'll use banks as case studies. So before now, um, getting on my bank app, I can only do transfers and uh, I can only transfer and possibly view my balance and transaction history. But today I discovered that most banks, I think it started with, I think, GT implementing bill payment features such that your bank app becomes a lifestyle. So you could do basically every financial transaction with it. You could pay for your GoTV, your Sporty Bet account. You could basically make all your payments from your phone, from your bank app. So you don't need to go to third party house. You don't need to send money to someone. You don't need to, like, you just know that once your money is in your account, you could buy airtime. You could, before we could not buy airtime with the money in your account. You had to, send money to all these SME guys. So I think that is like taking that as a good to great product in my opinion. Then the second thing I want to pose as a question is, so I discovered that so many, I don't know the idea behind the product. I know the idea behind the product, but I know in customer acquisition, when it gets to a point, I notice so many products now try to build in profit making features into the app. Say Duolingo that you mentioned earlier, Isaac. Duolingo was free before, so you get ads, and the ads, you get a notification that if you don't want ads, you could pay for a premium package that the ads help us make education free. And over time, I was used to that. Then I discovered that now you have lives. So once you exhaust your life, you need to now pay to like continue with your learning and so many other features along that line. So how do we differentiate a feature that makes your product great or better and a feature that makes you more money, so to say? Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for that question, Emmanuel. The first thing is, one way or the other, your customers must pay for your product. Okay, your customer has to pay for your product one way or the other. Now, how they pay for it is what varies, and that's why I talked about price earlier on. Price is not just in terms of, it's not just monetary terms. It might be your information that you're providing to the product. It might be the time you're spending on the product. It might be the time you're spending, the information you're providing, your resources that's being used, right, by that product. And it can also be the fund, like the cash that you are spending on it. So before you decide which one is what keeps a customer, or which one your customers are willing to pay for, and which one your customers are not willing to pay for, right? One thing you would do is to understand and differentiate between what we call vitamins and painkillers, right? If I ask today, okay, let's go back to that chest pain, right? Let's assume doctor has done all the treatment and has done a lot of things. Probably that particular patient that had chest pain was admitted in the hospital, right? While in the hospital, the doctor recommends and say, hey, you need to take this set of medications, right? Pending when you get well. Then when you're okay, you need to start taking these multivites. Trust me, I believe that more people would actually take their painkiller religiously than the number of people that would take their multivites religiously. Right or wrong? Anybody here? Right or wrong? Because there's actually no consequence. There's no direct consequence on not taking my multivite. It's just an add-on, it's an added value to me, right? So if you begin to charge your customers for what's supposed to be a multivite, you can actually see your customers fall off, right? But if you are charging your customers for what I would call painkillers, they would literally want to pay for it. Or let me give another example. If you're either, let's assume that particular patient is still in the hospital and they say that, okay, these are sets of essential medications you need to take, right, for you to get totally well. It's going to cost you 50K. Then these ones are just add-ons, like when you're okay, it's just help you boost your immune, like it's help you boost your immune faster. If you don't take it, it's no problem. Your immune will still be boosted, but to just take maybe like 1 week extra. But if you buy this medication, it will boost your immune. Yeah, you have your immune, they're like immune boosters. And this extra is going to cost you another 20K, make 70K altogether. Trust me, even though the immune boosters are cheaper, most likely people want to buy the painkillers first, the one that's going to get them out of their main problems first, than the number of people that want to buy the 20K extra. And nobody, no, don't let me say nobody, but very little people will say that, okay, you know what, just give me the immune booster without the painkiller, right? It's a normal thing. So before you put a price, when I mean price, monetary price on a feature or on a product, you need to understand what problem is a product actually solving. Okay, so that is that about that. So let me quickly jump and continue if there is no question from any other person. So I was talking about the role of product managers, right? So the role of a product manager, first of all, is the primary role as a product manager in executing and either building a product, building a feature, modifying a feature to meet users' needs, refactor a product, or whatever it is you're doing. The very first duty, the primary duty, the number one duty, unwritten rule, unwritten job rule, or written is not your KPI, is you are the custodian of your product vision. You as a product manager are the custodian of the product vision, and your job is to drive that vision until it becomes a reality, right? So when we are talking about good products, great products, you are the one that knows that this is the level of excellence I want to achieve with this product. And I have to stick to it, right? I have to work with it, right? And I have to work with it, I have to stick to it, I have to achieve it, right? So it's your job to hold that vision, nurture that vision, and drive that vision till it's what's it called? It's implemented, right? The next thing is also your role in ensuring that your product moves from just being a good product to a great product is your ability to show that sense of leadership. I'm sure many of us have heard this before. I think I've talked about it as well too before on PIP. You've heard people say that you're the CEO of your product. I'm sorry, you are not the CEO of your product. However, you are a leader without authority, right? You take the mantle of leadership on your product. You don't have authority because you might not have that power to hire or fire people that are working on your product. However, you have that responsibility. You own the responsibility to ensure that you influence people that are working on that product, right? People that are working towards achieving the goal on your product. Your duty is to influence them. Your duty is to get them buy into your vision. You don't force your product vision down your users' throats. You don't force it down your stakeholders' throats, right? You make them understand. You make them buy into that your product vision. And it's one thing about your product vision is it must not be ambiguous. If your product vision is ambiguous, nobody's going to work with it. It should be as simple as possible. right? It should be as simple as possible. It should be something that when your users, when your stakeholders or when your cross-functional team wake up every morning, they're looking forward to, wow, so this, I'm really part of this. I'm really part of the people that are driving this vision to become a reality, right? I'm really solving this problem, and I'm happy I'm solving this problem. They're not set of mercenaries, right? They're not people that are solving that problem because they want their paychecks. They are people that are solving the problems because they are passionate about the problem. And for that to happen, you as a product manager, first of all, need to fall in love with the problem that you are solving. If you don't fall in love with the problem you're solving, there's no way you'll be passionate about it, right? If you don't fall in love with your partner, you will not wake up early in the morning to send that lovey-dovey message, or you're not looking forward to talking to having the last conversation of the day with that person that you're in love with. So if you're not in love with the problem and with the problem of your users, right? If you're not in love with it, there's no way you would be able to you'll be passionate enough to solve that problem. And the moment you're in love with that problem you're trying to solve, trust me, the next thing that happens is you become the evangelist. You become the person, like, you're literally talking about it, you're dreaming about it, you're waking up, you're sleeping, you're doing everything about it, right? Every day you are dreaming it, you are talking it, you are eating it, you are drinking it, you are like heads over heel on the problem you're trying to solve, right? So that is that about that as part of your role, right? It's also your duty to you're sitting on a strategic position, and it's your duty as a product manager to come up with strategies. How do we go from point A that we are today to the point B that we want to be, right? How do I build so somebody used Sportybet. I don't know why that name is actually coming to my head, right? But somebody used Sportybet. So let's assume I'm the product manager for Bet Niger. How do I build Bet Niger? How do I make Bet Niger become the favorite of people over Sportybet? Right? How do I make Bet Niger become the favorite over Sportybet? So what are those things? Not just me copying the features that Sportybet has, but it's more about me building around what my customers actually need, right? Understanding that, right, is very it's very important. And lastly, it's your duty, and as much as you get the buy-in of your stakeholders, it's very important, like very important, that you manage your stakeholders' expectations. Never overpromise and underdeliver. Always underpromise and overdeliver, and that makes you a superhuman, right? That makes you a what can I call it now? That makes you become what's it called? That makes you become how do I call it now? A superhero, right? Not just in the team, not only you. That actually makes even your entire team become the superhero team for the organization, because you guys become winners, right? You guys become winners, and you know, we move on. Let's quickly move on from there, right? The next thing, which is the last thing I want to talk about, between good product and great product, how to achieve this is understanding what the long-term vision is, and I'm talking more about sustainable growth and scalability, right? Don't be like that person that come with all ginger, like you're gingered up, Or don't be like, okay, good. Don't be like that fire that's that has no substance it's burning on, because they pour petrol on the ground and they lit it, they lit, as in they fire up that particular spot. The fire blows boom and it goes down. Or like dry leaf, you put fire on dry leaf or on paper, it burns, and within a very short period of time it goes down. Don't don't build products that are like that. You will notice great products. One thing about them is they've lasted long. They've stood the test of time, right? I know quite well that OPay started like I think 2019. That's when OPay was everywhere. All right, oh this, oh that, OPay, all right, oh loan, oh credit, oh whatever it is, right? And oh cash. Everybody's just talking about all this, all that, right? As at that time, it was more like people were talking about them that time, 2019, because oh, this is the new thing that's happening. But have they been able? I'm using that as an example because somebody used it. Unfortunately, I've not used that product before, so I cannot tell whether it's good or great. Right? I've never used it before. But again, have they been consistent in that thing that excites their customers? Have they been consistent with that thing that they do and they do well? So consistency is very important. If you can be consistent and if you can grow your consistency, not just being consistent, because if you do it good today, tomorrow or next tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, rather, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, somebody would likely want to outdo you. So the best thing you do is, as you are releasing your products, you are continuously innovating. You release it, you give to your customers to understand what your customers are doing, and you go back again. You do it, you release, see, understand your customers, look at how your customers are interacting with that feature, look at the next thing that your customers are looking out for, right? Before they even think about it, but through their behavior, you just know that because they've done this, they've done this, they've done this. Do it, test it out, experiment, test it out. That's part of growth. Experimentation is part of growth. However, when you are experimenting, it is called experimentation, not mass production, right? Experiment maybe with a small group of people, or when you release something very small, you can, even if you are releasing it to everybody, experiment with something like when you take it away, it's not going to cause a lot of troubles, right? Or it's not something that is going to drastically change your users' behavior. You're just testing the waters, right? Okay, how do my users react to this? How do they take this? From there, you know what you can actually capitalize on, you know what you can build on, you know what you can move on with. So I hope I've been able to close out this very well. Can we hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, everyone,
Yeah.
please, yes, just give Isaac, show him love in the with the reactions. I have learned so much. I have been taking notes. I've been sharing some of the notes in the chat and also on our main group. So I know we have questions. Please, if you do, just raise your hand. We are pressed for time, so we'll just take about maybe two questions, and then if you cannot ask your question, we're going to share the community link so that you can join. We know we have new people here. We welcome you and we're grateful you're here. So we'll share the link to the community so you can join. But please, anyone has a question, just raise your hand and then we can take two questions. Please, if you have questions, you could just show by raise of hand or just unmute and ask away your questions. Or you can share in the chat if you're in a noisy area so that we can round up. All right, Anthony, please, you can take your question. Anthony, if you're speaking, you're muted.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Yes, Joshua,
Oh,
please just
okay.
hold on for Anthony. And after that, you can go. Anthony, please.
All right. So my question goes like this. Let's say you've been servicing your customers or your clients on your website and social media platforms, and then you want to build a product for them. How do you get their buy-in? Since they didn't ask you to build a product for them, you just decided that you need to build the product for them to probably scale and automate some parts of the business. Thank you.
Okay, that's a very good one. First of all, there's nothing wrong in you learning from your customers. Before you even build a product, what exactly do you want to build? Do you just assume that your customers want that automation, right? That's the first thing to do. So for me, if I'm in that situation, one of the first things I would like to do is I would like to listen in to my customers and understand what is it that I'm doing that my customers don't like, right? What it's not like it's not just a matter of them not liking it. What are they much interested in me improving on, right? What do you want me to improve on? What do you think? What is that thing that you don't feel so comfortable around? For example, let's say I'm selling shoes on Instagram, right? And each time my customers make purchase on Instagram, well, first of all, they come to my DM and they chat and chat and chat and chat. Da, da, da. They go through all my pictures and they start asking question, how much is this? Da, 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 da. They come to my DM. A lot of things go on there, my DM. And at the end of the day, I give them an account and they transfer into. I might say, okay. And I look at my sales. I realize that maybe over the past 1 year, I've sold more than 1,000 copies, right, of footwear, right? I've sold over 1,000 copies of footwear. What do? I think I should build a mobile app, or I think I should build a website, right? For I think I should build a website. I think I should build a mobile app for XYZ, as in for my shoe business. What if my users are not interested in visiting my website in the first place? And I think I just want to automate. What if using a platform, maybe a storefront, like a Paystack storefront or a Flutterwave storefront, is the answer to my question, right? Because one thing is, or what if my customers are very much comfortable in using that platform? However, because of payments, I don't want them to be transferring cash to me. I give them a payment link on that same social media platform. So you like it, you say it, you like it. I put a payment link there already. You click on that payment link and off you go to make payments, and I ship your products to you, right? It's important that I go ahead to actually understand what is the actual need of my customers. And I'm telling you this from experience. I've seen people, and I'm using e-commerce, for example, now, because I've seen people say, oh, I sell a lot on Instagram, so I want to go and build my own mobile app. I want to go and build my own website to sell. At the end of the day, they build it, and probably in 1 year or 2 years, they don't have customers patronize them. They're not even able to make enough money, right? Also, have you calculated how much is it going to cost you to market that platform? Are you building it to scale, or you are building it because it is trending? So those are few of the things I think you need to consider before you actually move on. Do I answer your question? Okay,
Yeah,
thank you, Anthony.
please, yeah, please, Joshua, just quickly, we take your question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I actually joined in late, so I missed most part of it. But great presentation, Isaac. I've learned a lot. I just want to ask,
Thank you.
what are the metrics you use in measuring if a product is great, specifically, aside revenue, functionality, and then mass usage. And then you also threw a question to the house, which only one person responded to. I'm throwing it back to you now. I mean, if you're going to tweak a product into becoming a great product, what route do you take in that regard?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, first of all, the first question is what metrics do I use? First of all, I would like to say that revenue is not a metric to measure how good your product is, right? And that's in my own opinion. Some other people might have a different opinion, but my opinion, revenue is not the right metrics to judge whether your product is good or not. Because it might be generating revenue because you are the only player in that space. Let me give an example. I'm sorry for the person that mentioned Spotify. I don't like Spotify a bit. But I use Spotify today and I'm stuck to using Spotify because all my payment method on YouTube Music has just not been working for me. But I really love YouTube Music. And I don't like to listen to those ads. Right? I'm sorry to say, and I'm not discrediting anybody. But if they want to judge based on revenue, then Spotify would have been the best. As of today, as of this year, I've listened to more music on YouTube Music than I've done on Spotify. Right? But guess what? Spotify has earned more of my money than YouTube Music. Okay, because of a lot of reasons around it. So what I'm about to say is revenue is not a key metric to measure whether your product is well accepted by your user or whether your product is solving actual user problem or not. So one key metrics you need to use is your net promoter score is there. How much would your customer want to recommend your product to your users? In fact, the real metric is when the users of your product become the evangelists for your products, bro, you've blown it. Referral. If I use a product and I can tell everybody about that product, like I am not ashamed to inform you about this particular product, not because the product is giving me any money, not because they're running a referral program code that say refer this product and earn 500 naira or refer this program and earn 1,000 naira. No, when I use the product and I'm so much satisfied about it and I just cannot keep quiet about it and I'm telling everybody about it, that product, right, has actually solved my problem the way it's supposed to be. I have a product I've used like that, and I think when I join my current place of work and people see the result of my work of using that particular tool, they ask me what tool do I use. I was not ashamed, and I think as of today, I've converted how many people? I've converted more than 20 people to use that same product within the last 5 months, 5 to 6 months. More than 20 people have been converted. I become evangelist for that product. And they're not using it because there are no alternative. They have what they were using before, but they switched to this particular one, right? So that literally makes that shows that that product is solving real problem. And out of those 20 people that have signed up and are using that product, this particular product I'm talking about, I am very much aware that more than 15 of them are perpetual users. They use that product at least once every week. Right? And that stands a great chance that they also become evangelists for that same product. So your net promoter score is one of it. Also, your customer lifetime value is also part of it. How often do the users turn on your products? If users are churning a lot on your product, then your product is not solving the real problem for your users. But if your users are stuck, like they call it stickiness, right? If they are sticky with your product, they cleave to your product, then you're actually solving the problem for your users. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thanks a lot.
Okay. What's the second question again? Let me quickly take it
Oh,
before. I know I'm out of time, but
the
yeah.
the tweak in making a good product become great.
Okay,
When you
so one
tweak
of
it
the
out.
first things, yeah. So one of the first things you actually need to do is try and investigate. I'm currently working on a product like that as I'm speaking to you. And the question is, I inherited this product, and it has just been a very big shamble and a very big mess. And one of the things I try to do is I not just jump on it and start shooting out emails and start talking to people and say, oh, this product is shitty or this product is not good or that. One of the first things I try to do is I think I spent about the first 3 months observing and understanding, 3 to 4 months, observing and understanding how, as in what has transpired from the time this particular product was launched till today, right? How much users have been able to onboard and how much users are using this thing, using this product. What is the feedback from major, like key stakeholders, like my top users? What is the feedback from these people? The people that will use this product every day, what is the feedback I got from them? I listen to them. I attend series of meetings where they lay complaints over complaints and over complaints and over complaints and over complaints. Today, I have not rebuilt the product, but guess what? I have achieved over 500% improvement on that same product. I have not rebuilt the product. I have not done anything very special other than just saying, okay, you know what? These are the problems you have. First of all, these are the low-hanging fruits. We can actually change how this is done in terms of operation, right? We can change how this is communicated. We can change how people interact, the channel through which they interact with this product. We can change it. And those little by little changes here and there, without bringing engineers to the room and start talking and building things here and there, right? Like, what am I saying? Okay, without bringing engineers to the room and as in break down the product and review the product from ground up and everything, has given me achievements. I have over 500% improvement on that product. And what I'm telling you now is what I have data to back up, right? That is not my goal. My goal is actually to have 10,000% improvement on this product because I see that opportunity. I can actually have 10,000% improvement on this product. And the next phase for me on this product is to now bring the engineers on board. Yes, I've given my users something to wonder about, or no, not to wonder, to use, something to like use, as in hold this one, use this as your appetizer first, right? While I settle to rebuild these products properly. And that's why when the last time I talked about scalability, right? Your long-term vision, your short-term vision, how do you move from just fixing something right now that makes your customer say, oh, now I'm satisfied, right? To now coming to say, oh man, now here we go day. I know they go anywhere again. Does that make sense, Joshua?
Yeah, it does totally. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, that has been such an amazing session, and I think one of the testament to it being an amazing session is the fact that we have even gone way overboard our scheduled time, and of course that is because of all of the great information, nuggets, and also insights that was shared generously by our host. And so please, guys, show him love, show Isaac love. He's been super generous with all of the information and just sharing us valuable insights into product life cycle. So please show your love with your reactions and your emojis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so please, if you would check the chat, you would see our moderators are dropping some comments there. So please, if you have further questions, you can actually drop them on the Slack channel. And the link there is the link to our Slack channel. If you're new here, we'd love to welcome you there. And also, if you want to learn more about our other resources and also our other events, we have events like this happen every first and third Thursdays. And then, of course, as product managers or aspiring product managers, we know how stressful the journey can be. So we have weekly check-in calls on Saturdays. So please, the only way you're going to see that prompt is when you join the community, and the Slack channel is there. And of course, I know you want to ask about the link to the recordings. Again, you're going to get it by joining the community. So please tap on that link if you're not on the community. And if you are, make sure to keep a date as well on Saturday by 8 p.m. For our weekly check-in calls. Isaac, any last words from you?
Okay. Last words. Go and build us some products, right? Don't settle for less. It might be difficult, but don't settle for less. And again, I think one thing that's very important for us as product managers is never let one day go by without learning something new. Never let one day go by without learning something new. It's very important. It's going to help you.
Thank you so much. And I think we'll also check back in on that 10,000% increase so that you come and share some of the secrets to 0 to 10,000% increase on the product you're working on. So guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasurable session. Please do keep a date with the Saturday call like I mentioned, and we'll see us there. Of course, if you have any comments, reactions, do so kindly on the Slack channel. Of course, if you have comments, insights, and also some things that struck you during this session, you can share it so that other people who were not here could actually see how valuable the session was. And of course, until Saturday, be good. Like Isaac said, learn every day so that we can all share all of that when we do connect on Saturday, 8 p.m. West African time. It's been a great session. My pleasure has been hosting this. My name is Imo Asalam, and we'll connect on Saturday. Thank you. And of course, do have a great night.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Abdul Latif. Bye, Edika, Emmanuel, Latifa, Stewart, Anthony, Farah, Chibuzo, Kevin, Acheng. It's been a great time having all of us here. Cheers.
Hi, Imo.
That was a great one.
Yeah, you did a great and fantastic one. Well
Really?
done. Yeah, you did great.
Oh man. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
to do moderation someday.
Oh, nice. Oh,
I'll
nice.
be
I
like
can.
you.
I plan to also be quiet but impactful in the background, just be dropping messages. I don't do moderation back to back. My mouth don't bend. I do on Saturday for 2 hours. Today